What if taking care of yourself actually helped you show up better for everyone else? I'm Janet Jacks, Coach Janet J, and this is your next best step. This podcast is about real doable shifts that help you breathe easier and move forward one step at a time. If you've been carrying the weight of too much for too long and waiting for things to calm down before you start caring for yourself, this is your sign. The time is now. Let's begin where you are. You were made for more than just surviving. You are doing all the right things, showing up, helping, being present, and your friendships still feel off, like you're speaking different languages, because you are. Today, we are talking about love languages beyond romance, because the way your friends and coworkers give care is often the clue to how they want to receive it. And in just a minute, I will give you 3 practical clues to figure out someone's care language without making it awkward. Welcome back to your next best step, the podcast for busy women who want real change, one small step at a time. I'm Coach Janet J, and this is a light, practical episode, love languages and friendships, and how to speak your friend's care language so people feel seen. Quick confession, my top 2 love languages are acts of service and quality time. Gifts and physical touch come next for me, and words of affirmation is the one I have to practice on purpose. So I used to love people the way I naturally love: help, do, show up, spend time. And some people felt deeply cared for, and others were like, thanks. That was my cue. Sincere care lands differently depending on the receiver. And here is what recent research confirms. Expressing care in any of the 5 languages enhances relationships. A 2024 review in Current Directions in Psychological Science found that while Gary Chapman's love languages framework is popular, what matters most is flexibility and variety in how we show appreciation, rather than finding one perfect match. Here is the simple shift. Use love languages as a translation tool, not as a label. The original framework comes from Gary Chapman's work with couples. Relationship scientists point out that love and care are more complex than 5 neat boxes, and most people value more than one kind of caring behavior. Still, this tool stays useful for one reason. It trains your attention on how someone experiences appreciation. For friendship and work, psychologist Paul White and Gary Chapman adapted these ideas, the 5 languages of appreciation in the workplace. Same 5 languages, different context, and they work. Here are the 5 care languages we are using today: words of affirmation, quality time, acts of service, gifts, kind of like thoughtful tokens, and appropriate physical touch with consent. Quick question. How do you figure out your friend or coworker's love language when they hint instead of asking? Here are 3 clues. Watch what they naturally give. If they jump in and help, they often feel loved through acts of service. If they plan to get together and want face-to-face time, that is often quality time. If they bring small, thoughtful things, notice gifts. If they are warm and affectionate with consent, notice physical touch. If they are always encouraging people, notice words of affirmation. Clue 2, notice what they repeatedly comment on. If they keep saying, that meant a lot that you showed up, that points to quality time. If they keep noticing effort, like you did so much, that often points to acts of service. If they light up when someone says something kind, that often points to words of affirmation. Clue 3, pay attention to what stings for them. If being distracted while having coffee hurts, that is often quality time. If they feel unseen for helping everyone, that often points to acts of service. If they say, no one ever says anything, that points to words of affirmation. You are looking for patterns, not one perfect label. Research suggests people often value multiple forms of care. And though one primary love language idea does not reliably predict relationship quality. Here's the quick science in plain English. A 2024 study in the Journal of Marital and Family Therapy tested Chapman's prediction and found that speaking a partner's primary love language did not predict relationship satisfaction better than other love languages, pointing to the value of flexibility and variety. For the workplace angle, Chapman and White created the 5 languages of appreciation in the workplace, which adapts those ideas into a non romantic setting. And here is where this connects to your overall health. A 2024 review in World Psychiatry found that social connection is a critical factor for both mental and physical health, with some of the strongest evidence linking social connection quality to mortality rates. For friendship, we are using a grounded principle. People feel appreciated in different ways, and noticing those differences helps connection. Here is a short verse that fits this episode beautifully. 3 John 1:5. Dear friend, you are faithful in what you are doing for the brothers and sisters. That word faithful matters. Steady care builds trust. When we pay attention to how our friends and coworkers receive appreciation and adjust how we show up for them, we are practicing faithful love, not flashy love. Faithful love. Even though today's pillar is emotional, this supports all 4. Mental, less guessing, less overthinking, more clarity about how to show up for people. Emotional, people feel seen, and you feel less drained from well-intentioned care that misses the mark. Physical, social connection supports stress, resilience, and sleep quality, 2 basics that ripple into your overall health foundation. In episode 46, we talked about the American Heart Association's Life Essential 8, and social connection directly supports several of those metrics, including blood pressure, stress management, and mental health. Spiritual, faithful love becomes visible, encouragement with hands and presence, not only intentions. Let's make this real with one intentional action for each of the care languages. Words of affirmation. Now, they feel cared for when appreciation is named. So you can use one specific line. Thank you for how you handled that. Your steadiness helped. Not vague praise, specific acknowledgement. Your quality time friend, they feel loved through undivided attention. Something to do, 10 minutes, phone down. I am here. Tell me the real update. And here is a quick real world moment. If your friend's care language is quality time, scrolling while having coffee feels like rejection, even when you are sitting right there. Your acts of service friend, they show love by doing, and they often feel loved the same way. Something to do? Lighten a load. How about, I can bring dinner on Tuesday, or I will handle that task. They do not need you to make a big deal of it. They need you to do something. Your gifts friend, they feel cared through, I thought of you. Keep it small and meaningful. A tea, a note, a bookmark, a funny sticker, something that says, you crossed my mind. It is not about the cost. It is about the thought. Your appropriate physical touch friend, they feel connected through safe, welcomed touch. Something you can do, in addition to making sure it's consent-based, is simple. Just ask, do you need a hug today? And if not, a warm smile, wave, or just simply high five energy. Physical touch is the trickiest in friendships and workplaces, which is why consent and boundaries matter most here. Here is your one step for this week. Pick one person, friend or coworker. Use the 3 clues. What do they give? What do they comment on? And what stings? Then do one intentional act in that care language within the next 48 hours. One text, one phone down moment, one helpful action, one tiny token, one consent-based hug or high five. Small move, big relational ripple. If words of affirmation feels awkward for you, you are in good company. I have to practice it on purpose too. This is learnable and it gets easier with repetition. And here is your reassurance. These are not random friendship tips. This framework is adapted from research on relationships and workplace appreciation, paired with what we know about social connection and health outcomes. You are not guessing. You are using practical tools that help people feel seen. Quick recap. Love languages beyond romance are a translation tool so that your care actually lands. If this helped, share it with a friend you love and speak it in their care language when you send it. Thank you for being here. I will see you on Wednesday for our next small step. All right, you've got your next step. Small, doable, and real. If this inspired you, make sure to grab your free 5-minute daily reset at yournextbeststep.com. It's my gift to help you pause the chaos and reconnect with what matters most. Be sure to subscribe. And if someone came to mind while you listened, please share this with them. Remember, you are seen, you are known, and you matter. Be kind to yourself along the way. You are making real change, one step at a time. Here's a bit of a deeper dive. What happens when care languages clash in friendships? This is something I see often in my coaching practice. Friendship drift happens when care languages clash and neither person realizes it. Picture this. Your friend always brings you little gifts: coffee, a book she thought you would love, a candle. You feel a little awkward because you do not reciprocate with gifts. So you offer to help her move, watch her kids, run errands for her when she's overwhelmed. She brings another gift. You offer more help. She feels like you do not appreciate her gifts. You feel like she does not need your help. The friendship feels uneven, even though both of you are giving generously. That is a care language mismatch in action. Here is what helps. Name it. Say it out loud. I know you show love through thoughtful gifts, and I want you to know that I see and appreciate it so much. And I tend to show love by helping and doing things. Does that feel meaningful for you, or is there something else that would really make a difference? That one conversation can save a friendship. It removes the guessing. It honors both people's natural way of giving. And here's the grace in that. Neither person is wrong. You are just speaking different languages. Once you know that, you adjust, or at least understand why the other person's care looks the way it does. One last thought. The American Friendship Project, a 2024 study published in PLOS One, found that friendship quality and satisfaction matter more than the number of friends you have. Quality connection, the kind where people truly feel seen, predicts life satisfaction and lower loneliness. So when you learn to speak someone's care language, you are not just being nice. You are building the kind of quality connection that actually supports your well-being and theirs.